I'm going to go through 405 now. So there are some questions here that I'd like to show you how to do them if you don't have a calculator. So let's have a look at question 1. What's a quarter of 28? So a few students do this differently. So actually I'll choose a different one. I'll choose one where you might have like B. Let me just change the pen. Okay, so B states, or 1B from 405, states a fifth of 35. Now you notice I wrote of because usually that's how it's written. Of and multiply are interchangeable, so I can simply just do that and just place a multiplication there when I see of. Okay, now what happens is you can then do it a couple of ways. Where the long way is, you put this over 1 and you do a multiplication, which is 35 times by 1, because the numerators you multiply together, and then 5 times by 1, which will give me 35 divided by 5, and you know the answer to that is 7. Okay, that's, I mean, it's a way, right? But the easier way of doing it, if you had a fifth of 35, again, you would just replace, and then you would see both of these numbers here are diagonal. When I say diagonal, what I mean is if I put it over 1 like I did prior, the top number here and the bottom number here, or the denominator and numerator of these two fractions, are both divisible by 5. And how do I know that? Well, they both end with 5 or 0. So 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 35 7. So then you'd get 1 over 1 here times by 7 over 1. Which is just going to give me 7. Now you might say, Miss, that's the same answer. It is, but if this was a more complex question, this would fare really easier for you. Okay, so there's two methods for you for solving B. Let's have a look at another example where it's the numerator is not 1. Like, for example, 2/3 of 33. Okay, I'm going to do it here. 2/3 of 33. Well, how might you do a question like that? Couple of ways. My favorite one, again, is to see if I can get a diagonal matching. Well, I know this ends with 3 and this ends with 33. Now, if you know your times tables, both of these are divisible by 3. Okay, well, 3 goes into 3 once and 33 goes into 3 11 times. Now I can just multiply across. 2 times by 11, and I get that from here. Okay, and then I have 1 times by 1, which is just going to be 1. So you can see easily the answer is going to be 2 over 1, which is just 2. Now, if you're okay with doing these, that's fine. If you've got a different method, again, that's fine. I'm just here teaching an entire classroom at different levels, so I'm not really sure what level you're at. So if you've got a faster way or someone has shown you a different way, but you're getting the same answers as me, that's absolutely fine. Go ahead and use that way. Okay, I'm going to do, now I've done probably many examples and they're all pretty much the same. Okay, so let's do one from question 3. So let's do F, okay, which states here, a quarter of 3 minutes, and they want the answer in seconds. Now be careful. As you can see, they want the answer in seconds. So I'm just going to rewrite the question. That's why it's important to write questions, by the way, because you need to see them. Okay, a quarter of 3 minutes in seconds. A quarter of 3 minutes, and they want the answer in seconds. Okay, well, since I'm working with seconds, I'm just going to go ahead and change that 3 to seconds straight away while I'm here. Now, how do I do that? Do you want to remember? 3 times by how many seconds in a minute? 60. So that will end up giving me 180 here. Okay, now because if we're using a calculator, I can show you how to do that. But right now we're not using a calculator. It's a non-calculator question. So how would you do a question like that? Well, that really is saying 180 divided by 4. Okay, because you're doing 180 times by 1 and 4 times by 1. Okay, well, if you know your short division, you should just be able to plug it in. 4 goes into 1, it doesn't. 4 goes into 18. 4 fours is 16. Remainder 2. 4 goes into 20. 5 times. Perfect. There you go. There's my final answer, 45. But don't forget, what was the question asking for? So I must show them that I understand. So 45 seconds. Can you think about a way of making sure that answer is correct? Well, why don't you go ahead, put 45 seconds over 180 minutes and see what you get on your calculator. What answer should you be getting to know that your answer is correct? That's right, a quarter. Look, I don't want the video to go on any longer than this, so I'll stop there. If you have questions regarding the exercises, let me know. I'm always here. Thanks for watching.